Princess Rose and the Creature. There was once a beautiful princess named Rose. Her mother, the queen, however, was not as beautiful as the princess. The queen felt bad that she was not the most beautiful woman in the kingdom anymore. She was tired of competing with her daughter. She made a decision. She prepared a drink for the princess. After the princess drank it, she fell asleep. Then the queen took the princess to the forest. She left the princess there. It was a very serious thing to do. Either she will be killed by animals or she will get lost in the forest, the queen thought. The princess had a dream. She dreamed about a man with brown hair and brown eyes. It was the man she would wed. The princess woke up. She saw a strange creature on the ground. It looked like a man, but he was hairy and green. He had horns on his head and a pig's nose. The creature said, "Did I scare you? I hope not. Let me introduce myself. I am Henry. I am not scared. To tell you the truth, I think you are cute," said Rose. Rose and Henry spent the day together. They collected berries, caught fish, and had lunch. They had a very good day filled with nice conversations. "Rose, I have to go home," said Henry. "My ship will sail home soon. I can't leave you here in the forest alone. Will you come with me?" Rose was very happy. She gave Henry a kiss right on his pig nose. As soon as she kissed Henry, he began to change. His pig nose turned into a man's nose. His horns and green hair went away. Standing in front of her was the man Rose had dreamt about. Rose and Henry were married, and they lived happily.
The Crazy Artist. Fraunhofer was the best artist in the world. Everyone loved him. The quality of his paintings was very high. He always used the best materials. He made a big profit from his paintings. He had delicious meals with his rich neighbors. He taught art classes. Life was good. Then his attitude changed. He stopped selling paintings and teaching. He tried a new method of painting. He stayed alone in his apartment all day. He worked all day and all night, rarely eating. Soon Fraunhofer became very thin. But he kept working on the same paintings for many years. He worked as hard as he could. Finally, he finished the painting. He was very happy and invited other artists to see it. "I want your professional opinion," he said. He wanted them to judge it and compare it to other paintings. Everyone was very excited as they went up the stairs to his apartment. Fraunhofer was excited to show his painting. and the artists were excited to see it. They'll love it, he thought. But they did not. They were surprised by his painting. There was no white anywhere. Fraunhofer filled the whole painting with lines and colors. There was no space for a normal picture. It was full of strange shapes. It looked bad to the other artists. He used symbols, and they didn't understand them. They thought it was terrible. "Why did you paint this strange picture?" someone asked. They didn't understand its beauty. But after some time, many people began to like his painting. People wrote articles about it in magazines. They said it was his best work. They loved his strange symbols. They loved his strange colors. Fraunhofer's painting reminded everyone that just because something was new didn't mean that it was bad. He also helped them to realize that sometimes it takes people a little time to understand great things.
The Farmer and the Cats. Arthur was a responsible farmer, and Maria was a nice lady. But they were poor. They owed the town lord money for their land. One summer, their farm burned. One structure caught fire, and most of the animals ran away. Only the cats stayed. So Arthur and Maria had to bring in their crops without an animal's help. On a fall day, the Lord demanded his money. Arthur asked if the Lord could wait until he brought in his crops. The Lord was angry. He raised his hands high and yelled, "Pay me by the end of the week. If you don't, I will increase the money you have to pay. I might put you in a jail cell." So Arthur and Maria worked until there was blood on their hands. They finished 4 lines of corn and went to bed. But the next morning, 8 lines were finished. "Maria, didn't we stop in this spot here?" Arthur asked. "Yes, that is correct. And the tools were in a different position, too," Maria said. They were surprised and happy. That day, they worked hard and finished 5 lines. But in the morning, 10 lines were done. Each day, they did a lot of work. Each night, someone else did an equal amount of work. In a week, the whole field was finished. "Tomorrow I will sell the crops and pay the Lord," Arthur said. But that morning the crops were gone. A bag was in the middle of the field. It contained money. "Maria, let's see who has helped us work." Through a hole in the wall, they saw a funny sight. The cats were dancing in the field and eating corn. Now Arthur knew what had happened. The cats had worked at night. After that, Arthur was very nice to his cats and fed them lots of corn.
A magical book. Sarah loved to read. She read novels and poems. She loved the beautiful descriptions and phrases. She loved reading work from poets and novelists. She didn't like video games or technology. She was on the basketball team, but she didn't like sports. Her parents made her play basketball. In fact, Sarah's parents made her do many things, but she didn't want to do those things. She just wanted to sit and read all day. One day, a small book came in the mail. It was for Sarah. The book looked very special. It was printed on sheets of gold. Sarah began to read. The outline of the story was simple. It was about a magical place. Strange things happened there. One example from the book was about a boy who could control people. In one scene, he made his friends tell funny jokes. Sarah loved the book. She read it all the time. Then something strange happened. The book gave Sarah a special power. She could control other people. She was like the boy in the book. During one exam, she made her friend tell silly jokes. Her friend got in trouble. After school, Sarah did not make a direct trip home. On the way, she went to the local store. She wanted to play more tricks on people. She caused problems. She made people fall down. She laughed and had fun. Finally, she left and started to walk home. Then she saw something. Her basketball coach was about to walk in front of a bus. He was looking the other way. She had to stop him. She used her power. She controlled him. She made him stop walking. Sarah learned something that day. It was better to help people than make them suffer. So she put a limit on how she used her power. She did not want to do bad things with it anymore. She only wanted to do good.
The Big Race. A dog saw a group of animals across the road. He walked over to meet them. "What are you doing?" he asked them. "I just sold them tickets to a race between the rabbit and the turtle," the duck responded. This news excited the dog. He felt fortunate that he happened to be there. "I don't have anything to do today," the dog said. "I want to buy a ticket too." The dog sat down to observe the race. The race would be extreme. It would be many kilometers in length. The rabbit and the turtle stood next to each other. They waited for the race to start. The dog wondered why the turtle agreed to run against the rabbit. Being fast was not a characteristic of turtles. The rabbit was going to win easily. Suddenly, the race began. The rabbit ran extremely quickly. The turtle walked slowly. After a minute, the rabbit looked back. He saw that the turtle was far behind him and was breathing quickly because he was so tired. The rabbit smiled and slowed to a walk. A minute later, the rabbit said, "I'm winning, so I'll take a rest." He sat and began to consume some grass. Then he let his eyes close. He wasn't the winner yet, but there was no risk of him losing the race. He went to sleep. Hours later, a loud sound woke him. All of the animals were yelling and looking at the field. He felt fear for the first time. The turtle was almost at the finish line. Now the rabbit realized his mistake, but the race was over. He gave the turtle an opportunity to win, and the turtle took it. The duck handed the turtle his prize. It was the happiest day of the turtle's life. The dog was happy for the turtle. He isn't fast, the dog thought, but he tried his best and did something great.